Welcome to the Fur and Feathers Homestead. Here we learn about gardening, farming, preserving food, and just sustainability for our family.
I'm so excited to share with you all today my seeds and the seedlings that I already have started. And this garden seasoning is going to be so much fun. I am so ready for it. The days are already getting warmer and it's giving off spring vibes. My mulberry tree is already starting to bud with green little leaves coming on it, and I'm just so excited. So let's go ahead and jump in. I have a ton of seeds and things to show you. My whole windowsill is full, and I'll take you down some of them and show you what's already starting to grow and why I decided to plant some of the things that I'm planting this year. So let's jump into it. So first off is herbs, which I have really started big time into because I have a space already laid out for a beautiful herb garden right outside my dining room here, right under my big windows. So I had to get them all started, and I got quite a few from EnjoyMusic, some from Bakers Creek, and then some that I just had from like Lowe's or Home Depot or somewhere that I've had for a little while. So I planted some basil, which is always great to have. I had some really great basil plants at my old house that were just grew and grew, and they were just so big and producing so many leaves. It was very nice. I was able to dry some, grind some up. I haven't planted any parsley yet, but I need to get on that. I ran out of small containers, so I went and bought some of those so I can start my parsley and peppermint. Peppermint is so good to have. I'm not going to go into like the medicinal properties of all these herbs and stuff. They're much better probably videos, and maybe I'll do a video one day when I have all my notes in front of me and all that about the herbs and stuff. I just remember doing all this research and knowing and writing down the ones that I wanted to go ahead and plant because I knew that we would use these. And so like peppermint would be used in a tea for sure. Parsley is just something that we use as a garnish or seasoning for our food. Borage is a medicinal herb as well. I've never used borage before. I've never planted it, but it was one on my to plant herbs, medicinal herbs. Rosemary, I love rosemary. It's very good for hair growth. It smells so good, just like dried rosemary and stuff. I love rosemary. So I planted some of that already. Some catnip. I think that I remember someone saying that this was really good to plant in the garden. So I have some already started, and then I'll probably start some more to plant in the main garden because I think it helps with pests. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like I heard that somewhere. I got some agnesia. I'm probably not pronouncing it right. I haven't started this yet. I'm thinking about maybe just planting it straight into the ground. I know that I won't be able to use its roots and stuff for like medicinal reasons and purposes for, I think it's the second year. So I'd have to get this going and probably won't be able to use it for a couple of years. I got some calendula, which is also one of the ones that I already started, and it's already sprouting. I use this. I have like a healing salve that I had bought, and it's got calendula in it, and I've just heard so many great things about the medicinal values of calendula, and they're really pretty, and I'm pretty sure they are a pollinating flower. Obviously they're a pollinating flower, but attracting bees and such is another really good reason to plant these. I got some chamomile. We like chamomile tea. It's a very good medicinal herb as well. I already have these started. I started some dill. It has not sprouted yet, whereas most of my other herbs have, so I think I might have to replant this one. But I use a lot of dill in our pickles specifically. It's a main reason for that. Lemon balm is very good. It's a good tea as well. I've started that one. Marshmallow is a medicinal herb. I'm not quite sure all the medicinal properties of it, but this was on my list of I wanted to have on hand. I've got some oregano growing. I love oregano. We make oregano oil. I season stuff with oregano. Oregano's a really good one. And then lavender. I had bought this one last year, and I have like 8 or 9 little lavender plants growing now. I started, I think, 1 or 2 last year, and they didn't make it into the ground, and so they didn't do very well. So I'm just starting over with that. So I'm trying to go fast because there are that was a lot of herbs, just herbs. So those are my little herb garden. Next up is sunflowers. I want to have a huge garden of sunflowers. And honestly, I'm thinking of doing a ton of them and a ton of variety. So we have these mammoth ones, which I planted last year and they did really well. They are huge, huge sunflowers. And then this variety I planted last year, which is got taped down. I have no idea what it is, but sunflower, we have these multicolored ones that we're gonna plant this year. This really pretty white and like reddish one. And then another American Giant sunflower. So I want to have as many sunflowers as I possibly can in my garden. Flowers are going to be a huge thing for me this year because last year I didn't really plant flowers outside of sunflowers. I did get a few sunflowers in and they were huge. So I want to make sure I'm bringing in enough pollinators, enough bees, enough butterflies, enough of the beneficial bugs, and how I plan to do that is through flowers. Also, I really love flowers. I would love to have like bushes and bushes of flowers to go out there and cut for my own table to give away as gifts and stuff. I love flowers. I really do. So I got some dahlia flowers, and really the only reason that I got most of these flowers is because they're pretty. I'm not quite sure what else they do for my garden other than bring in bees. And I might not even plant these in the garden. These might go up towards the house, maybe in my front bedding area, just turning all that into like flower beds just to bring in bees to our area more. So I also got some zinnias, some carnations because I love carnations. I really love carnations. I also got some marigolds and these will go out in the garden. I've heard marigolds are very good for the garden as well. I got some helichrysum, which I know that's an oil, like an essential oil, so I'm not quite sure how beneficial the flowers are, but I'll have to do some research into that. They were like 25 cents at Dollar General because they were going on sale and stuff like that. So, and then these I actually got from Dollar Tree. These are nasturtiums. And I have heard a lot of good things about these, kind of being like different bugs being attracted to these, and they will leave like the tomatoes and stuff alone, and they'll go to these nasturtiums. So I got 2 packs of these, which I will direct seed into the garden whenever we start planting out there. It's supposed to be another, get cold still. We still have at least 4 weeks, possibly 5. Until our gardening season can actually start outdoors. So I also have a bunch of other like random flowers that I've picked up at Dollar Tree or wherever else, and that I would like to plant maybe in the front yard. I have more helichrysum and marigolds, pansies, alyssum. I don't know anything about those. They just look really pretty. I have Gypsophilia. I don't know. I butchered this name. Don't know what it is. It's really pretty little white flowers. And then forget-me-nots and moss rose. I love roses, and these look very pretty. And I would love, at my old house, I had a couple small rose bushes that had light pink roses, and they were so beautiful. I love them so much. So I'm hoping to get a couple of these in the ground, and these will probably go in my front yard. That is all of my beautiful flowers. So the things that I've already started in my windowsills are mainly tomatoes, peppers, and herbs. I've started some flowers that said that they could be started indoors like 4 to 6 weeks ahead of time. So I went ahead and just did that because I just want to be a little bit ahead because last year I was so behind because we just moved and everything was crazy. So I planted some, or already have started, some Roma tomatoes, and I got these from Bakers Creek. They are the Martino's Roma, Bonnie Best, Brandywine Black, and then the Brandywine Yellow. And I really wanted to try these because I want to try just different varieties of tomatoes, see which ones our family likes best. Also, I wanted some really good canning ones, hence the Romas and the Bonnie Best, because we are really into canning. I am really into canning tomatoes. So these will be kind of more like fresh tomatoes, probably, maybe some salsa, stuff like that. I also started, which are taking forever, some Wonder Bell peppers, which are green and red, and then these purple bell peppers, which I had gotten this past summer from our farm store, and they were really good. I actually really like these a lot, the purple ones. But I started these seeds the same time as I did my other tomatoes seeds, and my tomato seeds are basically all up, and my pepper seeds are barely even sprouting. Peppers take forever. I've never had good luck at growing peppers, so I'm really hoping this is my year, but wow, they are slow growers. I will be direct seeding cucumbers as well as starting some 4 weeks ahead. So I want to have like a progression, continuous harvest of cucumbers. We went through so many jars of pickles, and I was hoping that it would last us until we get our own cucumbers in, but it did not. So we ran out of cucumbers very early. This is from MIgardener, National Pickling Cucumber, and then I have some other cucumbers in here somewhere. Maybe not. Ooh, sun. I have some just like from Lowe's or Home Depot from last year. So I have gray zucchini, and that was from MIgardener this year. And then last year I grabbed some zucchini from Bakers Creek, and I have some left of those. So I will be putting some, will be 4 weeks ahead growing inside, and then I'll do some outside as well, just to keep getting a staggering effect of planting. I'm also going to start my cantaloupe and my watermelon inside 4 weeks ahead, or 3 weeks ahead. This says 3 weeks, so I guess I'll do 3 weeks. We did not have luck with our cantaloupe or watermelon last year, and I think it's because I waited too late to get the seeds in the ground. So this year, I want to be ahead, and I want to go ahead and get started. I got this MIgardener Cantaloupe Edisto 47, and then Bakers Creek Watermelon Moon and Stars. Roots and Refuge recommended this one. They really like this one, and so I really love following them, so I really wanted to try this. We love watermelon around here, and cantaloupe, so I'm really hoping to get quite a few melons. I grabbed some organic just summer squash last year, so I'm going to just stick these in the ground. Maybe I'll get some started a couple weeks ahead. We really prefer zucchini. I'm not quite sure why, we just do. This, I'm super excited about this. We're going to have to make a trellis just for my loofah gourds, but I'm totally fine with that. And this is from Bakers Creek as well. This is something I got this year. I've never tried it before, but I've seen people grow these, and they are just super, they just grow so much, what I've seen from other people. So I'm excited to try this and then put some of these away. I've got some spaghetti squash from MIgardener, some delicata squash. I've actually never tried this, but I've heard that it's super good. So I really wanted to try to grow this and any type of squash. And then I got some pumpkins, the sugar pie pumpkins. And I just love having squash because they last so long. Like, you can put these up, and then I processed, pumpkins this past fall, froze it, and I still have some in the freezer. it's really, really easy to just process pumpkins. And then these two spaghetti squash for sure last forever, because I've gotten some from the store and, you know, set on my counter or in the shelf, and it's been there for a while and it still is really good. So I'm assuming delicata is the same way. So I really like to have things that will last a long time and that I can put up. The last thing, as far as seeds go, are beans. We are not, I figured this out this past year, we're not a big bean family. I will put beans in like taco soup and taco dishes, but outside of that, we just really don't eat like rice and beans and stuff. And I don't know why, because I grew up on rice and beans, and I'm pretty sure my husband did too. Not like all the time, but it was a side meal and sometimes the main meal. But we've kind of just gotten away from that, and maybe it's how I cook it. Maybe I don't cook it well. But I grew a lot of cow peas last year, which are very similar to black eye peas. And I've made them a couple times, but they're just not that great. So I think it might just be the way I make them. Maybe I need to season them more or something. But I've also had some like digestive issues with them too. So I've got to figure out how to do the beans and stuff. So this year I decided that I'm just going to do green beans. We love green beans. We eat a ton of green beans. Like that's the bean that we eat. So I got some just long green beans from Bakers Creek, and these will be a bush bean. And then I got these really cool red noodle beans, which are, I think I said it's similar to like green beans, how you eat them, but these would be trellis, like they're climbing beans. So what I want to do is have a hoop of fence and let these grow up along that, and then down the middle will be my bush beans. So that is the goal and the idea behind the beans. Whew, that was a lot, guys. So here are my Roma and Bonnie Best tomatoes. They are growing, sprouting very well. Loving the sun today. There's some over here. It's kind of dark. And then I planted my Brandywine tomatoes a couple days after my Romas and Bonnie Best, so they're not really coming up yet. You can see a couple sprouts here and there, but I planted my peppers first. This is the first thing that I planted, and still, like, there's a little one right there. There's a little one right there, and I planted these first, guys. These peppers just, and that's some peppers too. I think there's one coming up like right there. These peppers just don't want to grow for me. And I have my beautiful lavender plants right here. I really, really love these. I got a couple right there. So I'm really excited about those. They're growing really well. Here, I've got some lettuce and some cabbage, some red cabbage or purple cabbage, whatever it's called. Purple cabbage. And I'm trying to get them to grow so that I could get some before it gets too hot, but I don't know if I'm going to make it or not. So we shall see how that goes. They're growing pretty well though. Definitely not ready to be transplanted, I don't think. But I've never grown lettuce or cabbage or anything before. This is my first time. So we shall see how it goes. And then our lovely Azure Drop director was giving out free clippings of her elderberry bush. So she took trimmings from her elderberry bush and was giving them out. So I grabbed 2 of those and letting them sprout. I'm super excited about that. So that's a whole new adventure and endeavor right there. So I got those going. So over here we have some borage, which are huge. I did not realize they were that big of plants. They're really big. And then we got some basil popping up over there. My rosemary is slowly coming up. Popping up just a little bit. We got my calendula. That's coming up pretty well. Oregano. I'm not really seeing any in there. Might take a little bit longer. Might have to put some more seeds in there. Got my marshmallow herb. The carnations. The zinnias are doing really well. They're right here. Those are the zinnias. I think I got a little bit of catnip already coming up. You can see that over here. Little tiny one over there. I don't think my lemon balm has started, which has me a little bit worried. And then my marigolds haven't started coming up either. But my dahlias are coming. And my chamomile's coming up really well. Got a lot of those little, I don't know how many I threw in there. I threw a good bit in there. So if I do have extra, I will try to grow them out and then give them away to people who want some herbs. This is the helichrysum. See, these seeds are from like Dollar Tree and they're working really well. So I'm proud of that. And I don't think I have any dill, which is my other one over there. I don't think it's coming up yet. So I might have to plant some more dill, maybe some lemon balm and some more marigolds, possibly. We'll give it a little bit more time. But yeah, that's my little greenhouse right now. Whenever we get to tilling and planting some stuff, I'll definitely take y'all down there with me as well. Thank you for joining me on my little seed haul, what I've gotten started, and hopefully it inspires you to get started on some as well.